Hello everyone, Bashar here. We are together with Cursed City of Sintranos video. So as you know, the fifth rotation has recently expired. We now have the new rotation. So the fifth rotation was the final rotation, as you know, and when it was about to expire, Polarium told us that the new rotation, and they term it as filter sets, which is actually more correct, but we are kind of used to it as the player base. Uh, because the thing is, nothing in Sintranos rooms ever changes, right? So this P13 is exactly the same. It never ever changes, right? So for 6 months, nothing has changed in there. So what changes is the champions we are allowed to bring, right? And we had 5 filter sets, aka rotations, right? And now it's over. And I thought what they said, because the wording was a little confusing maybe. So what I thought was, they said something about being random. I thought they would be bringing a new rotation at random. So the after the fifth rotation, we wouldn't have the first rotation, but one rotation out of 1, 2, 3, and 4 randomly. Turns out that's not the case. It is actually a mix of the previous 5 rotations. So we actually don't have rotations. So for example, guys, let me go with an example. So this room, right, is at some point it required barbarian force HP champions. In some rotation it requires something else, right? So we had 5 filter sets, 5 rotations, and this requires 5 different things, right? So what is being done here is that the filter set for this room is random, right? And it is done so individually, right? For each room. So for example, I think this is rotation 1's S9. This is, I'm sure about this is rotation 1's S19. This is, I think, rotation 3's S20, and so on, right? It is random. So that means we won't have fixed things, but for every room, one of the 5 filters is gonna be randomly selected until all of them have been used up. So guys, for example, the next S20 won't require this, right? And the other S20 and the other S20 and the other S20 won't be requiring this one. So because let's say this is rotation the 3's, old original rotation rotation 3's S20 filter. So for this room, rotation 3 has been used up, right? So the next time it comes around, it's gonna be either 1, 2, 4, or 5. That's it. So because it could be confusing, right? At first I was taking a look like, so I was absolutely certain this was S1's, so rotation 1's S19, because this was the room I was dreading the most. But I'm like, wow, that room wasn't like that in S1, right? Then I was taking a look at other rooms, and it finally dawned on me that it is a mix and match of, all the rotations. So you have to kind of prepare for everything, right? And arrange your roster just so. And of course, guys, the smartest thing to do is to find out which champions you can use in the most rooms, and building those. And of course, you want to build as few legendaries as you would like, because a good legendary, a good epic, you don't mind it, right? Because it is useful to your collection. But when you are building a champion for the express purpose of Sintranos only, wink wink Krila, right? Krila, I built Krila just for that. The epic books are not hurting that much, but legendary books always hurt, right? So you don't want to be doing legendaries for the sole purpose of Sintranos, right? Or let me rephrase that, you want to do as few legendaries as you can for Sintranos. So for example, guys, I have used around 50 legendary books for Sintranos, which means I have built 4 champions that I wouldn't normally build for Sintranos. Krila is one of them. I think there was Jetny. I did build Samson and Shirimani. Those are the four. So, those are not bad champions, but also not very good champions. I mean, in my account state, I don't really need to build those champions, but for the purpose of Sintranos, I did. I also would recommend that you build Krila, because she goes in a few finite rooms and she's the only ally attacker in the game that's allowed. Or maybe there is one more, right? She is pretty nice. I mean, she can be used for this S15 room, which is nasty, and also S17 room in a lot of rotations. So if you were confused about how it rotates, that's it. Every time Sintranos is reset, a filter set that has not been previously used in that whole rotation, right, is picked randomly, and then that one is scratched until all 5 have been used up, and then it goes random again. So that's how Sintranos operates. And same goes for the boss, right? This is rotation 3 maybe. It's not rotation 1 though. I'm absolutely certain it's not rotation 1, because in rotation 1 we had Desert Men inside and Dark Elves, because most of us used Cold Heart, Venom Mage to prevent the boss from healing. And another thing, guys, maybe it's not the subject of this video, but I want to say it. So we had some lame solo strategies in the past. Blizzard solo the boss, Daywalker solo, Oboro solo. Those are a thing of the past. So you could confuse the AI into not using the A3 and A2 in the main form, which heal, and that's why you were able to kill it, right? Because the boss rotates very quickly, so it's not possible to out damage him with a single champion. But if you trick the boss into not using his heal ability, then you can kill him slowly. So they have fixed his AI. Now he will always use them. So I think the solo strategies are a thing of the past, because he does heal like 20%, I think. I don't think you can damage the guy by more than 20%. Well, maybe Kronan would be able to in the rotations that he's allowed, but it's still gonna be pretty hard. So yeah, guys, that is it about the Sintranos rotations. That's why it doesn't feel like rotation 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, because every room's filters are selected at random. So now these have been used up. So the next 4 rotations we won't ever observe these again, if I did not misunderstand it. And that's about it. If you have any questions about Sintranos, leave them as a comment and I will try to reply to you. And I'll see you on stream. Bye bye.